Okay, so the biggest news story locally is that the Steelers signed Michael Vick. First of all, the Steelers lately have been having a lot of problems with their players staying on the right side of the law. And while many of them were not formally charged with some of the things that they supposedly did, uh, the general consensus is that they probably did some of these things and that, you know, that they got off because of who they were, or, they got off lightly, they got a slap on the wrist. And unfortunately, that has become a trend in the National Football League, not just with the Steelers, but with other teams as well. Although, it affects me the most because I do live here and they're giving, and that was like my main point through the whole discussion was that this is just another one of those things that's going to give Pittsburgh a bad name. And I'm really disgusted with the National Football League. I was, and now I'm having these debates in social media about, Michael Vick. And first of all, people are really drawing some conclusions about, what I think and but see, it's not just about him personally. It's just that this is like the last straw to me. You know what I mean? We've had just today another guy on the Steelers got suspended for 4 games for violating the league's anti-drug policy, and they're not saying, if it was a performance, if it was a PED, or if it was like a recreational drug. So here we go again. Just yesterday was Vick, and today is this guy. Okay, so in over the summer there were incidents, and the guy on the Patriots got convicted of murder. And you have, and I don't have any reservations about saying that I think that they're all a bunch of self-entitled thugs with money. And it's happening. There's a recent thing going on in NHL with Patrick Kane, and I hope to address that one as well. But this is personal to me because I was born and raised in Pittsburgh. I'm not the hugest Steeler fan, but I do watch them every Sunday. I watch every Steeler game that they played for the past 40 some years. But I'm not like a super fan. There's very few games that I have missed. But I don't really, I don't need to qualify myself as a Steeler fan as much as I want to qualify myself as a Pittsburgh person. And it's just, I really do believe that Art Rooney Sr. would not be in favor of this, and he's probably spinning in his grave right now as we speak. And some of the arguments that the people are coming up with are like, oh, he paid his debt to society. No, he didn't. He paid the debt of a rich man, a rich athlete with a good lawyer, served 21 months, which, is no picnic, but he served only 21 months, was never charged actually with dogfighting. He was actually charged with charges related to the dogfighting, and he got off on the dogfighting charges by, this community service and fines and things like that. But I'm like totally disgusted that people want to just accept him because he paid his due to society. No, he didn't. Those dogs are never going to come back. The torture and humiliation that they go through. He had a swimming pool full of dogs, carcasses. It's disgusting. And people are like just blowing it off. They want to throw Christian principles at me. They're like, oh, judge not, or because you'll be judged. And, I'm not going to comment too much on my religious stance is, but I do know a little bit about the Bible. And I also know that Jesus wouldn't want you, Christians, to call people out for not being forgiving. Okay, so I know this is getting long, but I just wanted to address one more thing. What people are saying is that if you don't agree with them on the Michael Vick thing, that you're not a Steeler fan, and that you never were a Steeler fan. And I just want to address it. That's about the stupidest shit I ever heard in my life. Okay? Before most of these guys who are commenting on it were even born, I was sitting around in my neighbor's living room with about 25 people listening to the radio for the game with the Immaculate Reception. Alright? And should I say that, when I was watching that game way back when, now it doesn't count because I never was a Steeler fan, because 40 years from now, they're going to hire a dog killer. Yeah, it makes sense to me. Anyhow, I would love to hear feedback on this, and I may be addressing it again.